dear students. Welcome to the English class of Study Zest, the world of educational solutions. I hope you all are doing okay. Today I will be explaining line by line the rest of the poem The Wind by Subramania Bharati. In the previous class, I had taken up the introductory portion of the poem. I had explained about what that poem actually is and what it actually focuses on. What is the central idea of the poem, and also I had discussed in very short the summary of the poem, and I had started the text of the poem and described the first stanza of the poem in the first class, right? So today I will be moving on with the later part of the poem. But before going on to today's class, I would like to remind you of the social media platforms through which you can connect with us. Subscribe to our YouTube channel and press the bell icon so that you can get notified whenever a new video comes up. Like us on Facebook so that you can get daily updated study materials. Join us on Telegram. You can use this link to find us there. Follow us on Instagram, join our WhatsApp group using this number given here, and for more information you can log into the website www.studygest.in. As you can see here, our YouTube channel looks like this. It's called Study Zest Academy. Do subscribe to our channel and like and share our videos. And this is how our Facebook page looks like. Like us on Facebook, show us some love, and we will give you daily updated materials on your different kind of academic subjects. Okay, now moving on with today's lesson. Today I will obviously describe or explain in details the rest of the poem The Wind. Okay, here in the first stanza of the poem we saw that the poet was talking to the wind and he was describing the power of the wind. He was talking to the wind and he told the wind to come softly without breaking the windows or without destructing anything or without touching the books or making them fall from the shelf. So this is how the poet wants wind to come, but the wind is too powerful. Now in the second stanza he says, "There, look what you did. You threw them all down. You tore the pages of the books. You brought rain again. You are very clever at poking fun at weaklings." This is very important stanza, very important line where we kind of get the hint of the central idea of the poem. Okay, so first we have to know some meanings of some difficult words, difficult terms like poking fun, making fun of something, or weakling means a person who is weak. Okay, now what does the poet say here? The poet says to the wind to look at the destruction it has done in a very conversational manner. Okay, so this is the very interesting part of the poem, that we can look at it in like a conversation. Okay, like the poet is talking to a child. Like first he says, "Come slowly, otherwise you will destroy everything." And when the wind comes and it actually tears down the books or it makes them fall, the poet tells the wind that now look what you have done, what destruction you have caused. Okay, whenever there is a strong wind, all the things that are weak, like small plants, teeny children, etc., they all get scared and they can even fall and get hurt. we can say that in the initial part of the poem, the poet is referring to the wind as a young child. Okay, as I said that in the initial part of the poem, it seems like the poet is talking to a young child, a young naughty child who is very hard to control. Okay, the poet kind of says कि ये मत करो, देखो तुमने क्या कर दिया, तुमने यहाँ पे सब तोड़ दिया. Okay, this is how he talks to the wind. But then here in the last part of the second stanza, he is saying that it should come softly just like a small child does. In the later part, we come to know that the wind is destructive just like a youth. Just like a young boy or young girl full of energy, violence and destruction. So what do we come to know from the second stanza's last part? That the wind is actually not a child. It is a young woman or a young man who is full of energy, who is full of potential, full of power to destroy something. Okay. So this is the difference between a child and a youth. A youth can be powerful enough to destroy something, but when we imagine the wind as a child, the child is less powerful. But here, as we see that the wind came, okay, and fell the books down, and it tore down the pages of the books, okay, and it brought rain again. And then the poet accuses the wind by saying that the wind is very clever because it makes fun of the weak people, okay, because it kind of shakes everything that is weak, even if it is a book that is kept on the shelf or a small plant. The wind, the powerful wind, has the power to shake everything weak, and it has the power to kind of diminish them, okay, to destroy them. Next, the poet says, frail crumbling houses, crumbling doors, crumbling rafters. Crumbling means what? Crumbling means something that is breaking down or falling down, okay. Crumbling wood, crumbling bodies, crumbling lives, crumbling hearts, crumbling, falling, or to cause something to break. This is very important here. See, okay, another thing before going into the matter of the stanza. Rafter means a sloping beam which supports the roof of the building. Okay, so if this is the roof, then this is the rafter which holds on the roof. Okay, now what does the poet say here? That frail means weak. Okay, frail means weak. So the wind, the powerful, the strong wind comes and it breaks the houses, crumbling houses. That means houses fall down due to the strong wind. Crumbling doors, doors fall down due to the strong wind. Rafters, that means the beams, the strength, the pillars that hold down the roof, they fall down because of the wind. Crumbling wood, that means the forests are shaking with the powerful wind. Crumbling bodies, human lives, everything kind of falls short in front of the strong, powerful wind. Okay, crumbling hearts, that means that these kind of powerful wind shakes hearts. It causes fear. Okay, this is the meaning of it. Crumbling heart, that means it breaks hearts. It causes fear. Crumbling, falling, or to cause something to break. So what does this wind do? This powerful wind makes everything fall down. It makes everything or something break. Okay, now one thing that is important to notice here, that first word here the poet uses is frail. Frail means something that is breakable. Okay, something that is very fragile, that is very weak. Okay, so this is how the powerful wind kind of works. So you can imagine here about any cyclone. Okay, the effect that the huge breakage or the huge destruction that storms or cyclones can bring about. Okay, so any kind of storm, any kind of cyclones, they are also strong winds only, and they cause huge human destruction, the destruction of property, the human property, the destruction of human life, everything. Okay, so this is what the poet talks about, that the powerful wind has the power to destroy everything. Here the word crumbling is repeated so many times to lay stress that everything crumbles. Crumbles means falls down in the face of strong wind. So the writer is saying that when the wind is very powerful, it is strong, it leads to breakage of everything. As I said, that when the wind is very strong, when it is for example, it is a storm, it can cause breakage of many things. Okay, houses which are weak fall, doors which are weak fall, the beams on which the roof of the buildings are supported, they are also caused to fall by the wind. All the wooden structures fall, all bodies of people fall, animals, lives, hearts, everything shatters down by one hit of a strong wind. So he is saying that everything crumbles and falls down. Everything that is weak reacts by falling down and breaking in the face of adversity. What do we know about adversity? What are actual meanings of adversity? Adversity means the problems or the hardships of life. Okay, so this is how we see that adversity adversity is actually another name of wind, we can say here. So the poet is saying that whenever a weak person faces any adversity or any challenge in life, that person breaks down and falls. So from here on we can see that the poet little by little goes into the deeper meaning of the poem. At first he starts by talking with the wind, then he describes the power of the wind. Now he talks about the wind in a philosophical or in a deep manner. Okay, here he says that the wind actually, this wind that causes problems or harm in human life is actually the hardships, the problems of human life that we have to face on a daily basis in our lives. Okay, next he says a very, very important line. Okay, that's why I have kept this line alone here. The wind god winnows and crushes them all. Okay, very, very important line. What is the meaning of winnows? Winnows means to broke grain free of chaff, separate grain from husk by blowing it. So it is a kind of a farming term, you can say. Okay, whenever a grain is separated from its cover or its husk, that process of separating the grain from its cover is known as winnows. So the wind goes winnows and crushes them all. Then we can say that the wind god kind of is so powerful, so strong. As you can see here, this is an imaginative picture that we have here. We see that the powerful god winnows, shifts and separates people, and then the god of wind crushes the people all. Okay, so what do we have here? The poet is addressing to wind as the wind god, and he is saying that the powerful god of wind winnows. That means he shifts all the people, and those people who are weak fall down and get crushed. So what does this wind do? This wind god actually shifts people. That means the people who are weak, they are very easily shakeable. हम लोग जानते हैं कि जो weak होते हैं, they are very easily breakable. That's why the poet says it here, that the weak people, they are very easily shifted by the wind god. मतलब कि बहुत जल्दी वो लोग affected हो जाते हैं जो problems हैं life में उनसे, ठीक है? So here a comparison is made between wheat and people. Just like we know the wheat to separate the grain from the chaff, the wind god separates the strong people from the weak people. You understand here the comparison? This is kind of a deep comparison. Don't get afraid. Just look at it step by step. Okay. So first what we have here, that the poet calls the wind god. Okay. And what does this furious wind god do? This powerful furious wind god separates people. How does it do that? It shifts or it separates the strong people from the weak people. Just like the wheat grain is, if this is a wheat and this is cover, the wheat is taken out from its cover and it is made separated. Okay. So if the wheat here is separated, wheat grain is separated from its husk, similarly strong people are separated from the weak people by the wind. Okay, this is the point of comparison here. When there is a strong wind, all the things that are weak fall and get crushed. Okay, so that we know here that the strong wind, what does it do? It makes weak things fall and weak things get crushed under the strong wind god. Okay, how does the wind god looks like this? Probably he or she, I don't know, looks like this. Okay, now let us move on. He won't do what you tell him. So come, let's build strong homes. Let's joint the doors firmly. Practice to form the body. Make the heart steadfast. Do this and the wind will be friend with us. This line is very important line. Okay. Now here we have a word called steadfast. What does that mean? It means firm or hard, or you can say tough. Okay. Now the poet wants us to make friends with wind. That is the adversities in our life. What does adversities mean? Adversities mean the hardships of life. So in the first second or third stanza, we got to know that the poet is referring to the adversities that the powerful wind causes. So here we have a comparison between powerful wind and hardships of life. Okay, so powerful wind knocks down the weak things. Okay, similarly hardships also shake and break down weak people. This is the point of comparison here. Okay, so he won't do what you tell him. Wind will never listen to you. That means the problems that comes in your life will not listen to you. It will come at its own time. It will come at its own pace. So come, let's build strong homes. So here first the poet says that let us build strong homes. That means let us build ourselves stronger. Okay, we cannot stop the wind, we cannot stop the problems. So what should we do? We should make our homes stronger. We should make ourselves stronger. Okay, let's joint the doors firmly. So when in case we can't stop the wind, in case we can't stop the problem from coming, so shut the door strongly, firmly, steadfastly. Okay, practice to firm the body. That means we should be strong in our body. Physically we should be strong. Make the heart steadfast. Also make our heart steadfast. That means mentally we should be strong. Do this and the wind will be friend with us. That means if we are mentally and physically strong, then our problems will seem to us less difficult. And little by little we will come to know that that powerful wind or that problem in life is actually not that of a big issue. Okay, so this will make us the friend of the wind or the adversities of life. So he says that the problems will not listen to us, they will come. So we should be prepared. In preparation, we should build strong homes and close the doors of our house firmly so that the wind cannot get into. And then he says that we should also make our bodies strong and hearts firm so that we can face challenges. And then once we are strong enough, all the challenges will be like friends. We will not feel that they are troublesome. This is the important moral of the poem, that we should make ourselves, we should prepare ourselves mentally and physically so strong that the adversities, the challenges that we face, we will not get afraid of it. They will become our friends and we will face every challenge with actual stronger mind and stronger body. Okay, now the last stanza of the poem. The wind blows out weak fires, he makes strong fires roar and flourish. Very important. Okay, what does the wind do? Whenever there is a fire, okay, let me draw fire first. So imagine this is the fire, okay, and there is this strong fire on the woods. Okay, so this fire we see when there is this little candle in front of it, a heavy wind comes and it blows it off. Okay, heavy wind comes and blows it off. But if a fire like it is held in the woods, using the wood, woods, we actually make fire in order to cook food or in order to keep us warm. We need fire in a larger basis. Okay, so in that case you will see that we blow little by little into that wood so that the fire flourishes. Okay, तो ये जो मतलब फायर होता है, ये अगर कैंडल का फ्लेम होता है, छोटा सा फ्लेम होता है, इट गेट्स डिसअपियर्ड बाय द ब्लो ऑफ द विंड. बट अगर हम लोग ज़्यादा बड़ा सोचे कि अगर कहीं पे आग लगा है, और या फिर जस्ट सिंपली बोलूँ कि यू नो द oven where the fire is used for cooking or to keep us warm in the fireplaces, वहाँ पे जो fire होते हैं तो वहाँ पे we use oxygen to make it flourish. We blow wind into it in order to make it flourish. Okay, that is very important. So weak fires, that means weak people are easily dominated. Weak people are easily affected by the strong blows, by the strong wind. That means the strong problems of life. But the strong people actually flourish under the adversity. Okay, his friendship is good. We praise him every day. So what should we do? We should try to make ourselves strong and pray to him every day and make it our friend. Okay. The poet has kept the wind on a pedestal. Pedestal, that means he is worshipping now the wind. He is now worshipping the wind. His tone has changed from the first stanza to this last stanza. Okay. He is comparing the wind to God. He says that wind is God and we praise wind every day. He adds that everything that is weak gets finished off in the face of the strong wind, and all things that are strong flourish and grow to become stronger. He's giving us a very important message. What important message? That we should not feel bad when we are facing too much challenges and adversities in life. We should make ourselves physically and mentally strong to face these challenges. And once we are strong enough, we will overcome the challenges, we will become friends with them, and then we will be happy that we had these challenges in our life, because they help us become stronger and better. Okay, so this was the meaning of the poem, that once we become stronger enough to face the challenges in our life, and we face it and we overcome that hardship, overcome that challenges, there will come a day when we will look back and we will see that how much stronger we have become due to that challenge. Okay. Now, let us look into the technicalities of the poem. Okay. So, here we have the literary devices of the poem. That means something that makes the poem as it is. Okay. Rhyme scheme. What is the rhyme scheme? The entire poem is written in free verse. That means no rhyme is used in the poem. You will see here fires, flourish, good, day. कोई भी यहाँ पे राइम नहीं है, ठीक है. सो वी कॉल दिस फ्री वर्स. नेक्स्ट, लिटरेरी डिवाइसेस यूज्ड मीन्स what figures of speech are used here. Okay, first thing is anaphora. What is anaphora? When a word is repeated at the start of two or more consecutive lines, it is known as anaphora. The wind, the wind, the wind, the wind. This kind of thing. If four lines starts with the same words, okay, then it is known as anaphora. Okay, like the line 2, 3, 4 begins with don't. Line 6, 7, 8 begins with you. Okay, this is known as anaphora, figure of speech. Personification. The wind itself has been personified. As I said, that is it possible for us to talk to the wind? Will the wind talk to us in return? No. So when the poet is talking to the wind, he is imagining that the wind is a person. And then he says that you are and you should come slowly. These are the things that he says to the wind. And he says that he is referring to the wind as you. That means he is treating the wind as a person. Okay. So that's why personification is used here. Repetition. Crumbling is repeated many times to lay emphasis. As you have seen here, crumbling has been used repeatedly in order to show the destructive power of the powerful wind. So this is known as repetition. Alliteration, very important. The repetition of a consonant sound in close connection. Like wind winnows. That means you can say there are 3 words, okay, and those 3 words in the sentence starts with the same consonant. Okay, wind winnows willows. If I say, that is known as alliteration. Won't want, both starts with W. This is alliteration. Here also both starts with W, alliteration. Okay. Symbolism. Symbolism means something is said in front of us and something is meant deeper. Some deeper meaning is given to us. Okay. So here we say that symbolism means that thing refers to some other thing, which is wind is a symbol. As I said, in the whole poem, the poet talks to the wind. But what does it actually mean? The wind here is a symbol of the hardships of life. The wind here is the metaphor. The wind here is the symbol or representative, to say it in easier words, which means the problems of life. मतलब पोइट ने विंड को यूज किया है ये बताने के लिए कि विंड जैसे हार्डशिप से कंपेयर होता है. सो विंड हियर हम लोग बोल सकते हैं stands as a symbol of the hardships of life. Okay, it refers to the challenges in life. He is using wind as a symbol for the adversities of life. Okay, now summary, as I had talked already about it in the previous chapter. Let's just brush up our memory. So basically what happens in the poem, that at first the poet talks to the wind and asks it to come slowly and softly, but the powerful wind comes irrespective of the request or order of the poet, and it breaks down the windows, throws the books and tears them off, and the poet here then says, then this powerful wind is actually making fun of things which cannot defend themselves. जो अपने आप को रक्षा नहीं कर पाते हैं, जो वीक होते हैं, उनका फन बनाया जा रहा है पावरफुल विंड से. It breaks down frail or weak houses, doors, rafters, and even weak hearts. It crushes everything that is weak. Okay. Then the poet says and gives us the advice to be strong. Only then can we save ourselves from the wind. We should build strong homes with firm doors. That means we should be clear and strong in our mind and in our heart and in our bodies, so that in the way the world kicks us, we should be prepared for it. When the world hits us, we should be prepared for it. Okay, the wind blows out weak fires, but it makes the strong fires stronger. Okay, so once we become strong and once we know how to make friends with the challenges, then the wind will become our friend. The challenges of our life will become our friend. Okay, so the wind is on the side of the strong people. We must make ourselves strong to become successful and overcome the challenges of life. Okay, this is the moral of the poetry. Thank you. With that, I am wrapping up today's session. Thank you for joining me today. I hope I could help you understand the poem a little better. And I will be back in the next class with some important question answers from the poem. And if you have any queries, please comment on the video, like and share our video, and subscribe to our channel. Until then, take care and thank you.